Hi, I'm Phoebe from Florida. Please like and subscribe because MSA will give $2,000 to one lucky winner in the coming 7 days. My mom always told me the day I was born was quite an exciting one at the hospital. When she held me for the first time, she gasped at my eyes. They were midnight blue in the center with a light blue ring outside. The nurses were stunned too, and well, a bit confused. Blue eyes are rare, and you both have brown eyes. Quite unusual.
What are you trying to say, woman? You think this isn't our child? Did you cause a mix-up in the nursery?
No, of course not, sir. I was only saying.
How about you keep your useless opinions to yourself? Her eyes are nothing special to talk about.
And for some reason, it always really annoyed him when people noticed and talked about my eyes, which was every time they met me. And as I grew older, I started realizing that I had a strange power. I could get what I wanted using my eyes. Let me give you an example. Once when I was 6, I went with my parents to their friend's house, who had twins my age. I could tell the boy was really sweet, but the girl didn't like me much. When she left the room for a while, the boy climbed onto her bunk bed and returned with a beautiful doll.
Her eyes are just like yours. I think you should have her. Oh, wow, really? Thank you so much. Hey, thief! You can't have my doll. But your brother gave it to me. It even looks like me. It's not his, it's mine. And it looks nothing like you, witch. Let go.
I pulled harder and suddenly the doll's head snapped off. The girl burst into tears and went running to our parents. Oh boy, I'd be in so much trouble with Dad. Suddenly, I looked deep into the boy's eyes.
You'll tell everyone that your sister broke the doll's neck because she didn't want me to play with it. You'll say that, won't you?
And that's what he said, word for word. The girl's parents apologized to me and scolded her. Over time, I just couldn't help using my eyes more often to get my way. Sometimes I knew it was wrong, but it was just too easy. I only had to look at people with my big baby blues, and teachers would help me during exams. People would give up their seats on the bus, and if someone got the last hot dog at lunch before me, they were sure to surrender it. By the time I was in high school, I was quite popular with the boys and had my girl gang too. But I knew I wasn't well liked by the mean girls, especially the head cheerleader Cadence. She was the girl whose doll I'd broken as a kid, and she hated me since. One day in 9th grade, a group of cheerleaders and jocks in the cafeteria were talking about a cool new movie they were going to watch that weekend. It sounded like fun, and I wanted an invite. So I walked straight up to this boy, Zach. Hey guys, I was wondering if I could tag along to the movies with you this weekend. Zach hesitated, and then he looked directly into my eyes. I knew what his answer would be.
Of course, Phoebe.
Thanks, Zach. You're a sweetheart. Did you just invite her to the movies without asking any of us?
What's the big deal? I don't think anyone has a problem.
The rest just shrugged, and Cadence glared at me before storming off. I was still grinning when I walked over to my locker later, and I found her waiting there. You're not going to the movies. No way! I don't care what Zach said, you're uninvited. What are you gonna do, ban my entry into the cinema? You can't, so I'll see you there. I turned to leave, but she knocked my books out of my hand and stepped on them. I grabbed her by the hair and we broke into a cat fight. We both ended up in the principal's office and she immediately called our parents. I didn't do anything, she started it. I hadn't even touched her. She pulled my hair. The principal also called in a few witnesses from the hallway, and luckily for me, it was a bunch of boys I knew. I only had to look at them, and they all said Cadence was to blame. No way! She can't get away with everything just by batting her dumb eyes. She looks like an angel, but she's a lying witch who has everyone dancing to her tune. But Cadence got detention while I was let off with just a warning. On the car ride home though, Mom and Dad were really quiet. Why are you guys acting like I killed someone? It was just a silly fight over a movie plan.
Why do I feel like I believe Cadence? You've always tried to get your way by manipulating people ever since you were a kid. Now it seems worse than I thought.
Okay, so people are sometimes nice to me and do what I ask. What's so wrong with that?
We'll talk about this tomorrow. You are grounded for a week.
What? Why the heck?
Phoebe, enough. You heard what your dad said.
I felt really mad at both of them, but the next morning I found them waiting for me in the dining room with a small box on the table. What's this?
Something to cover up your eyes. You need to learn that life isn't so easy, and you can't just get whatever you want.
Inside the box were brown contact lenses. They were the color of mud. Are you kidding me? You think I'm gonna wear those?
You have to wear them if you want to continue going to school.
I looked over at my mom, who wouldn't even look me in the eyes. But I could tell Dad was completely serious, and Mom just didn't have my back. With angry tears, I grabbed the box and ran out of there. It took me a few tries to wear the contacts, but I finally managed. And I hated what I saw staring back at me in the mirror. It wasn't me. At school, I was hoping by some miracle no one would notice. But of course, everyone did. Why are your eyes suddenly brown? Did your evil spell finally wear off once you got all your wishes? Everyone's comments made things hard because it felt really embarrassing to say my dad was making me wear brown lenses. I made up some lame excuse about how the doctor had recommended them for an eye condition, but it didn't seem to convince anyone. And suddenly, no one seemed to care about me much. Luckily, a month later, Dad's job caused him to transfer to another state. A fresh start was exactly what I needed. No one in school there would ever know I had blue eyes before. But it was quite strange walking into this new place and not having anyone pay much attention to me. My classmates seemed pleasant enough, but everyone just went off with their groups at lunch. I was sitting outside having lunch under a tree when someone dropped down next to me. "Hello, mind if I join you?" "You already have, and I don't mind at all." "Good, 'cause I'm too tired to get up anyway. Plus, I've been waiting for someone new to show up for ages. All these other girls just talk about boys and makeup, and they think they're from another planet. Or they think I'm from another planet, I'm not sure." Her name was Grace, and I warmed up to her instantly. We quickly became close friends, but I just couldn't tell her my stupid secret. A few weeks later, we were sitting on the gym floor making decorations for an event when some guys started playing basketball. And suddenly, the ball came flying at me and hit me smack in the face. I opened my eyes, and looking down at me was a gorgeous boy with black hair and the deepest blue eyes ever. Had I died and gone to heaven?
Hey, are you okay?
Of course she's not okay, you moron. You could have killed my best friend. Help me up, will you? Grace pulled me up, but my knees gave way and the boy swept me up effortlessly. He carried me to the bleachers and said he'd be back with some water. "Phoebe, are you okay?" Yeah, I'm fine." "I see. Yeah, you aren't fine. And if he has his way, you never will be again." "What do you mean?" Just then the boy returned with a water bottle and knelt beside me.
Really sorry. We should have been more careful.
"Oh, don't worry. I don't mind. I mean, it's just a ball, not a rocket." Now that would hurt. I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe I have a concussion, but I'm okay. O-Y-A-K. See? I can still spell. He just smiled at me and ran off to his friends. What a blubbering idiot. I turned to Grace and saw she'd already left. Later that night, I got permission from my parents to stay over at Grace's. "So tell me, what do you know about the gym boy?" "That's Levi. He's my older brother." "You're what now?" "Yeah, I know. Different set of genes. But Phoebe, he's a heartbreaker. He changes girlfriends faster than he changes underwear. He knows he's good looking, and he uses it to make girls like him, and then bam! 2 weeks later, some girl is crying in the school bathroom, and he's got a new girlfriend." "Really? But he seems sweet." "How would you know? He's my brother, and I'm telling you, he's a jerk." "Is he here? Like right now?" Yeah. But you don't want to talk to him, right? You're here to have a slumber party with me, and I just told you, he's a jerk, right? Gotcha. But I couldn't get Levi off my mind. Grace messaged me on Monday that she had the flu and wasn't coming to school, and I decided this was a great chance to talk to her brother. On the bus, I was thinking about what I'd say to him when someone sat down next to me.
Sorry, seats in the back are full.
Holy lady luck! It was Levi, but it seems like he hadn't recognized me and just started reading a book. What you reading? He turned the cover to me without looking my way. Oh, nice. I've never read that.
Okay, good to know.
Wow, he did seem like a bit of a jerk, but I wasn't giving up yet. If it's good, maybe I'll read it. I'm the girl from the gym, by the way, the one you hit with the basketball.
I know that. I didn't have memory loss. It's just that you're Grace's BFF, and she told me to stay away from you.
That's strange. She didn't say anything to me. And why can't we all be friends? Grace was down with some virus and couldn't attend school for 2 weeks, and I ended up spending all my time with Levi. He was gorgeous, but he was also funny and thoughtful, and I just couldn't help liking him. And I had a feeling he liked me too. But when Grace returned, she was furious seeing us together. So what? You've replaced me with Levi now? Of course I haven't. You weren't here and we just started hanging out. And now you're in love with him, aren't you? Even after what I said, doesn't take anyone too long to fall in love with Levi. He gets anything he wants. I was upset that Grace was mad, but I didn't want to give up on Levi either. Later that day, as I was running an errand, I passed by a cafe window and stopped in my tracks. Levi was sitting there with some blonde girl I'd never seen before. He suddenly spotted me and I started walking away quickly.
Phoebe, please stop. It's not what it looks like.
It's none of my business, Levi, so no need to explain. I obviously misread some signs. You should go back to your girlfriend. 2 weeks and it's time for a new girl, yeah? Just like Grace said.
She said what?
That you're a heartbreaker and that you change girls faster than clothes and that I should stay away from you?
Phoebe, she made that up, okay? I went out with her best friend a year ago and things ended badly between us. She blocked out Grace too and moved away, and it broke Grace's heart. In fact, that girl in the cafe is my ex. She's in town and wanted to return some things. And you didn't misread any signs. I like you, a lot, and I was planning to ask you to the winter dance.
I need to talk to Grace first, okay? I had a heart-to-heart with Grace, and she admitted that she'd lied about Levi. I know he's a good guy, but I don't want to lose another friend. Pinky swear, no matter what happens between me and your brother, we'll stay friends forever. We decided to go shopping together for the winter dance, and I found a beautiful blue dress. As I looked in the dressing room mirror, I suddenly took my contacts out and called Grace. What happened to your eyes? I told her all about how I'd get whatever I wanted because of my eyes, so my parents made me cover them up. That is ridiculous. They can't make you do that. I know, but maybe it hasn't been the worst thing. I got you and Levi, and it has nothing to do with my eyes. But yeah, I think I just want to be myself now. When I got home, I walked into the lounge where my parents were watching TV.
What have you done?
I'm tired of covering up my real eyes. This is who I am, and I won't hide it anymore. I'm done with your controlling nonsense.
You'll do what I say as long as you live under my roof.
Then maybe I won't live under your roof. I went upstairs to gather my things so I could go stay at Grace's house when suddenly Mom came in.
I need to show you something.
She pulled out contacts from her eyes, and they were the brightest blue, just like mine.
Your dad hated the attention I attracted, and after we got married, he made me cover them up. But you're brave to stand up for yourself, and I don't want to let you down again. I'm leaving with you.
We packed our things and left Dad for good. We checked into a hotel until we could find a place, but for the first time, I saw Mom happy and free. The next day, I put on my blue dress for the dance, and Levi came to pick me up.
Grace told me about your eyes. You look beautiful.
You think so?
Yeah, but no matter what color they are, I'd think that anyway.